Hello YouTube, Sir Dragon X here. Have you ever thought about moving to Mexico, but you don't know where to start your research? I think I have the perfect solution for you. Today is part one of a two-part series of my interview with an actual relocation specialist in the video coming up next. Welcome back to Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, where quality of information and integrity come before profit. Have you been thinking about moving to Mexico, but you don't know where to start? Do you have problems doing your research or ever wondered where do you even start your research? Well, today is part one of a two-part series of my interview with a relocation specialist. Before we start our interview, don't forget to join our social media at the links listed below and subscribe to our channel and hit that like button if you enjoy the content. It helps me get the word out on YouTube. Today is part one of my interview with an actual relocation specialist. This person is going to actually help you and assist you in getting the information that you need to move to Mexico. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get to part one of the interview.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to introduce you to a very incredible young woman that offers a very unique service. Her name is Mariana, and she runs a business called Mexico Relocation Guide. Welcome to Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, Mariana.
Thank you so much for having me, Ernie.
Let's, one of the things that really struck me, just to give a little bit of a history, I met Mariana through social media, and I was really intrigued by her business. Most people offer expat services, and Mariana, one thing that I noticed is that you offer expat services, but they're very unique, and so I got a little bit interested in your services, and we even had a chance to meet on one of your trips that we're going to discuss here in our interview. But one of these things is I really feel that this is a very unique business, and I think this needs to be brought to people that are interested in coming to Mexico and relocating to Mexico. And instead of me actually describing what your business is, can you explain, tell us a little bit about yourself first, introduce yourself, and kind of explain what is Mexico Relocation Guide?
Sure. Well, first of all, my name is Mariana Lang, and I was born and raised in Mexico City. I came kind of at a young age to the US. So I say born and raised in Mexico City because that's where I spent most of my life, really. However, when I was little, my parents moved us to Brownsville, Texas, way in the south of Texas, very, very border with Mexico.
I actually have them. We kind of were raised kind of close together. I was raised
Yeah,
in McAllen.
yeah. So we're from the valley.
We're both from the same area, and actually, I retired from McAllen too. So,
Rio Grande Valley represent.
yeah.
Went to high school there. I mean, really spent most of like my later on childhood life there. And then moved to Austin when I was an adult and met my husband here. And we were both working really high paying jobs, really well paying jobs, I think, in Austin. And we just started realizing that the cost of living is crazy and it's increasing. And our property taxes are going to probably be about $10,000 this year. Our healthcare is about $700, and that's with like a $10,000 deductible. Uh, I mean, it's just like, it's crazy, right? And as much as we try, our grocery bill is never less than $400 a month, and we don't even buy meat. We're just buying vegetables and grains and beans. So, we really started looking hard and we were like, we're really never going to be able to retire with this lifestyle here. Like, we're going to have to work until we die. And it just clicked in my head one day. We were visiting my grandparents in Mexico City, and I was like, why not? Like, I mean, we both work from home. We can do this. We can totally move to Mexico one day. So I started researching a lot, and I realized that a lot of the information that I found online, Ernie, was there's a lot of great information out there, by the way. Channels like yours, other channels on YouTube, they're amazing resources and they really do give people good and true information. But there's also a lot of really bad information out there. There's also a lot of really outdated information out there. Despite somebody's best effort to put information out there, they haven't kept it up, right?
And I totally agree, Mariana. I
Yeah.
really do. And Mexico's changing a lot politically and structurally. One thing that I noticed and is that the days of YouTubing and saying I've lived here 15 years and this is the way it was 15 years ago, so it's the same way now. Uh, those days are kind of going away, if you
Yeah.
agree with me.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally, right? I mean, there's just so much information. It's so easy to publish information nowadays that it's also kind of hard to moderate it and to do your due diligence in maybe a country you've never lived in before. You don't really know. Like I know what things are true and what aren't just from my experience having lived there, right? But for many people, they've never lived in Mexico, so they don't know how to verify whether something's accurate or not. So that's really when we decided to create Mexico Relocation Guide. And I created an online guide that is consistently updated. It has accurate information because it wasn't only written by me, it was written by other professionals. So I had everything fact checked by immigration lawyers, real estate agents, healthcare brokers, other expats. So it wasn't only my information being put in there. I actually had it fact checked by other people. And now I packaged it into an easy to follow plan that people can have access to. They buy it, and you get instant access to this online portal that gives you step by step everything from how to find a rental, what questions to ask, how to make sure you're not taken advantage of, um, what's the cost of living, averages for different things, what are the best places to live. I mean, it has a lot of information in there, including my directory of contacts throughout Mexico that people can contact directly to get, their residency process or a rental, things like that.
And that's what I was going to just mention. I was going to say, one of the things that I noticed is that you have a very good, extensive list of contacts, such as facilitators, those types of things that can help you on the back end. Uh, it's a very thorough guide from what I can see, and and actually, I was very impressed with what you put together.
Thank you, Arnie. It took a lot of time to put it together, and I'm consistently updating it. So
Mhm.
it never ends, right? The project is never done. Because like you mentioned earlier, things are changing, rules are changing. So I consistently update that in the online guide, and people just buy it once and they get lifetime access.
Now, one other question, of course, the big question is what's the price for this guide? How much does it run, and how does it work? You get access, you pay up, you go online, you pay, and then you get access to this portal. And this portal, I take it that you get access whenever you update it. You get access to the updated guides and those types of things.
Yep, exactly. So currently it's 395 US dollars, one-time payment.
Okay.
So that's currently right now, right?
Mhm.
Your audience is going to get a special deal, so stay tuned for that. Ernie's going to give you information on that. But it's currently $395. It's lifetime access, meaning you pay once, you get access right away. And every time I add something, every time I make an update, I send everybody an email. I also invite everybody to our private Facebook community where people get instant notifications also of any updates or any additions.
Wow, and you know what? That's an incredible price. Um, Now I do know there's some other realm, like I said, there's books and online resources that do offer some of these things, but like you said, they're outdated. Or I buy a book, and next year I have to buy the next revised book.
Exactly.
And so, you know what? That's pretty reasonable price. I really do feel that for the amount of information and the resources, that's an awesome price, and I do recommend it to my viewers. Um, Now, um, this is another thing that I noticed that you offer. One of the things that, and I'll go a little bit into detail on my end, one of the things that I recommend, I always say this, and you interviewed me actually on your YouTube channel. Uh, you not only have this relocation guide, but you also have free services. Um, and one of your free services that I just happen to drop into your streams every once in a while, just to say hi, is that you have live streams where you can ask questions, somewhat like what I did yesterday with they asked me anything about Mexico. And one of the things that in really impressed me is you know your stuff. And you really do know your stuff. And um, I even learned a lot of things from your streams. But can you kind of point out your YouTube channel also? That way, and kind of give. And the other nice thing I liked about your YouTube channel is, and I was one of your subjects, is that you actually interview expats too, and their experiences living in different areas. Or you have an interview with how did I think there was one with Medicare, some that was how they dealt with Medicare here in Mexico. Can you kind of go into your YouTube channel and kind of explain that kind what services you offer there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So our YouTube channel's name is Mexico Relocation Guide. And I offer a variety of different videos. I started out doing live streams, kind of like what we're doing right now, where, I interviewed somebody and I really just wanted to deep dive into their experience living in a specific part of Mexico. Because Mexico is a huge country. It can vary so much from one city to the other. So I really wanted to get somebody else's perspective on what it was like for them to integrate and to live in a specific area. And I've done interviews everywhere from people who live in San Miguel de Allende to Querétaro to Playa del Carmen, Mazatlan, different cities, Ajijic, Chapala. And the purpose of it is for future expats to be able to get an idea of what that person's perspective is like, but also do they see themselves living in that area based on that person's feedback? And these live streams give the audience an opportunity to ask their questions while they're watching this interview live. So that way it's not only me asking the questions, but also the audience can get to interact. I have a lot of those interviews on my YouTube channel currently. I'm also now offering 2 times a month live streams where I just answer any question that anybody has about moving to Mexico. And if I don't know the answer, then, I send them to the right resource where they can find it. But I do that now 2 times a month. And then I'm also publishing some videos that are a little bit less live stream and more edited, where I can show people the differences between certain neighborhoods in a city and plus or minuses, different rentals, things like that.
Wow. And the other thing I noticed that's very unique about your business, which I really have never really even seen this in this type of community or the expat community or relocation or expat services. I've seen it on the back end. One of the things that I want to stress here is that what happens with a lot of people, and I've noticed, is that they move here. I didn't really need any expat services, but they move to a place like San Miguel de Allende, then they start posting in the groups, who can help me with immigration? Who can help me with this? Who can help me with finding a place to rent? And that's all on the back end. And a lot of these businesses charge money or pay me $50 and I'll consult you for an hour. Those types of things, maybe, but they're over here in Mexico and we're talking on Zoom, maybe. But you take a more hands-on approach, is what I've noticed, and you're actually doing it from the front end, from somebody that when they're planning during the planning stages. And one of the unique things that I noticed, and that's even more unique than your guide, and this is where I got a chance to meet you because you actually came to San Miguel de Allende, is you offer relocation tours. Uh, One of the suggestions that I always give people when they say, "Well, where do I live? I don't know where I want to live." And of course, I always say, you know what, you need to visit the different places. Uh, and then even when you move, maybe rent before you buy because you might not like it, those types of things. Can you go into these, instead of me describing them, can you go
Yeah.
into those relocation tours and kind of give me, or give the audience, not give me, give the audience an idea of how they work and exactly what they include, and approximate cost. I'm almost sure different places are different amounts and that type of thing, and how often. Just kind of go into detail about those
Sure.
relocation tours, because I think this is a great resource for somebody wanting to come and doesn't know where.
This concludes part one of a two-part series of our interview with a relocation specialist. In the next interview, we're going to go over her relocation tours. I hope part one of this interview was useful. And don't forget to subscribe and see you soon.